Okay, you know the SEEP technology, obviously. Okay, so let's start. I start with my career. First company with Oracle. I was working as a, technical related. You know, like technical related. How in a sense means, I did certification in Red Hat and VM. The early days I used to work it in that manner only. I've been Oracle. I have 4 years in Hyderabad, and in between I moved to US for upgrade the project because we are working in Oracle server later. Server, you know, early days we are using that VM and all, right? So we used to launch the new server, which we are having that other company like extra one. So they have more than in Europe they have newly launched. So that's where I just went for US and in the middle of somewhere Latin America. So this is what my journey, and I just moved to, after that I working in Tech Mahindra as a technical lead, where I work all the cloud related, you know, like I didn't did any certification, but when I have a chance, when I have free time, I just gone through all the cloud related, because I know it's a new market yet to become a very huge role have to play. So I just learn all the cloud, not even like one cloud. I just started with AWS, and I came with Azure and GCP and as well as OCA. So I know all the multi-cloud, and I was working as a cloud architect where I played, like, you know, the DevOps parts come and how the production work, how the operational, and how the cloud network security. So though I just worked in the Tech Mahindra, I've been working around 7 or 8 years in Tech Mahindra, and past and later I moved to, now I'm working in Google. I've been like almost 5 plus year, almost 6 years. Yeah. So currently working. I was joined as a technical lead, as a acting as a manager, and later I moved to chief technology officer. This is my entire journey, and I have faced more struggle when I started my career. You know, I completed my engineering in St. Joseph College, Chennai, and I did my ME in Anna University. So I was a university rank holder where I studied engineering, and later I got, so I'm basically sports person. I got a sports scholarship only. So hope somebody background from sports means you know how, what are the challenges when you're doing a national level or when you're participating state level, you know that struggle, right? Being an athletic. So same way, but I participated national level twice to represent Tamil Nadu, and in sprint event I was studying St. Joseph by the time. I got two national level gold. Uh, these are all my extracurricular, and currently I'm playing cricket and football. When I play in Tamil Nadu, I was playing in division, second division and first division. That's it. So this is my extracurricular apart from. So physical is also important, and when you come to career also, we have to focus on all how we can able to, because you may think why I'm explaining the sports activity and comparing to, because when you're working in that adapted to any sports related or any things, you may have the discipline like the timing and how you are maintaining all the, how they give the session, like the structural way, so which time you have to do what things. So though you have to the patternize the thing, you can implement the same thing when you're working in the way. So that will easily helpful, and you can release your stress and all everything. So when you come to learning things, you have to be, there is a not much the 1 hour section you're not going to learn, and you're not going to adapt the section entirely. So you have to focus at least 20 to 30 minutes. So that's enough. You can, and you have, we have more interact section in this section. We will go accordingly. Okay, so that's it guys, myself. And this section is more like interact section only. I will give you the overview about what MLOps and why MLOps needed in the real world, and in the real world problem what they are facing with MLOps related, what are the challenges they're facing, and why they are using in the production, what are the challenges we are facing, though we are addressing here. And before I just start, who are all working in the cloud sector, may I know, like can you give the uh, like kind of attendance, may I know how much years Rafin and what cloud you are working? Mm,
Hi, hi Daniel, this is Ravindra. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Rajendran. Yeah, tell me, Rajendran.
So I have experience into like GCP and then Azure and a little bit about the AWS cloud. So I would say it's a multi-cloud, but hands-on experience in GCP as well as Azure.
Okay, good. So, is there any challenges when you're working in facing in cloud related?
I mean, I have not faced any challenges, but yeah, it's good to work with the cloud environment because most of things are like very structured and streamlined.
Mhm.
Once you know the architecture is very good to work in the cloud setup.
That's good to hear. Anyone, any other cloud like AWS or OCI? If anyone can let me know, because I have to know that which level of category can based on that I can give, because the going forward is MLOps like it's not a, like big stocks, it's most of things developing part only. I have to be explain how that algorithm works, those things, so you have to easily understand, right? So that's where I, yeah, go Prakash.
Yeah, hi. So myself working in AWS and middleware tools. So
Okay,
we will be completely setting up the environment plus deploying and maintaining the applications plus maintaining the application and web service as well. So in
so you,
AWS cloud,
so
4 years experience.
okay, so you're working as an infrastructure level.
Yeah,
It's good to hear.
middleware and DevOps.
Yeah, which means working as an infrastructure.
Yes,
And
hi.
any others, any other working in cloud? Okay, guys.
Hey, myself Sayed. I'm working on three clouds like Google Cloud, AWS, and Azure
Okay.
on infra part. Yeah,
Okay. So how many years of experience in the cloud sector?
yeah. I have 6 years of experience in cloud. Yeah,
That's good. And what role you're playing in the cloud? Like which cloud? Any specialist? Any cloud like
yeah.
AWS or GCP or
Yeah,
Azure?
currently I'm with Azure Enterprise Architect in Pfizer.
Okay.
Yeah, previously I worked with AWS and GCP in my early
Okay.
state in my early career. Yeah,
So if you're an architect, you know how to organize the management things, and we are using enterprise level, right? To
yeah, yes.
okay. So then okay. So if you have any question cloud later, because we are going to most of thing cloud related, because MLOps is part of because early how they started, like because it's everything related to the server only, because you know how the server things work. So I just go with the basic. If you know, like how the early days, how they started with the server, the IBM, Dell, and a certain company, they started with the physical server. You know that concept, and then they came with the virtual machine, and then now after 2020, 26, they started AWS. So the cloud sector, how it came, you guys should know, right? So I'm not directly go into that basic. If you all guys know, I will. If you want, I can go with that also. So from the scratch, if you come up with this, and then we can go with MLOps. So just up to you wish, guys. Tell me which you want first. I will explain from the physical server and the virtual machine, and then we'll come to the cloud, and then we'll in the cloud sector how the MLOps will operate. So though I can explain just the overview only.
Yeah, then it will be little helpful to start with the cloud,
Okay.
and then we can proceed with the normal stuff that is required for the MLS purpose. So that will be really good to go.
Okay. Good, right? Okay. So hope you guys my see my screen.
Yes,
Okay, so I just open the notebook for try to explain the stuff. Okay, so see cloud. So cloud, like when they started, any idea? I hope
I
2000.
mean companies started using.
Cloud, yes. So first they started with the AWS. They started around 1998, I think, with the initial of with the VM based cloud, which is you can think about like see VM based means VM, they have VMware. They dedicatedly have the hypervisor setup, which they have used the EXA concept. Hope you know that. Okay. So initial stage they started with the AWS 1998 or 1999, I hope. but they implemented on around 2006, I believe. So the first cloud launched by AWS, they started from 2020, 26, I believe. So like AWS, the Amazon, they have the dedicated data center over there in US, California. So they have acres of land. Like acres of land mean, hope like they have a kind of acres from around. They started with 6,000 acres of land in here. Okay, 6,000 acres they started. So let me show the image as well as. Okay. Amazon. Yes. Let's see the image. See, you can see, right? There are some server they kept in the New York. So this is how they used to keep the data center. Okay. So this is very large data center, and the cloud concept how will work means if you have an internet in your home or anywhere, so you can just purchase the cloud, whichever you can cloud, and utilize accordingly, and how the modules work in that. Okay, that's how they have the dedicated data center over there. Yearly they have a VM virtual machine, which you need specifically if you want to set up the VM, you need dedicated space, and the cost wise also is increased, and you have to set up the hardware and the middle of the ESC setup, and then go with which application or which domain you're using. So based on, then you have to set up in the VM wise. And so though compared to the physical server, it's like advanced well, and then they came with the cloud, it's like more advanced. They have dedicated data center over there in their own place. Just you have an internet connection, you can able to access through via internet wherever in the world. Okay, so you have to purchase according how you are able to utilize. So if you are like visual server, obviously, like if you want to register it, like some around like $7,000 will come initially for Indian based, like around like 12 lakh something for initial registration for license. Initially they started with 1 lakh or something, but nowadays, like after 2020, they started with 12 lakh for a license. So this cost wise also very huge when you're setuping. And if you're setuping means VMware also, it's like we need a huge base to set up over the, if you want to set up office or business purpose. This, so yearly they have physical, comparatively VM is very good. Physical, you need more number of hardware things. You have to set up the hardware setup, and that's cost wise so high. So comparatively, VM's good, and after the later they come with the cloud. They have the own data center that they own place. They give the uh, through the cloud, you can able to use all the application and all the, like how the storage happen, how you can able to utilize the network things and all. They give the secure things, they have structural. So that's where the cloud things better, and how in that we are using that machine language over in, so we have to go accordingly. Okay, so I will show that MLOps how they operate. So guys, if you have any question, just don't hesitate, just ask me. Okay, I will explain. I may not be jump to directly into the part, just I will give the overview only. Okay, so MLOps, like do you know who start machine language? Any idea? Hello guys, are you there?
Yeah. What is the
Any,
question, Daniel?
who start the machine language? Who invented, or you can whatever?
No idea.
Any idea, guys?
Or maybe I half of the name I remember, like something Ada Lovelace or something. Long back I heard.
Okay. No, so I will tell you. So MLOps, not see the machine language. It's started around 1952, actually early days. If you know his name is Samuel, Arthur Samuel, who just created the machine language to initial stage. Like, so they use only for the particular field because they have the national banking only. They try to utilize the thing with machine language, how they operated to the machine language through which the help of IBM. Hope you know that IBM early they have the physical things only, so they try to improvise the machine language, but it doesn't work because they need to write the more coding over the execution part, and there are certain things. And before that, there are so many people they started, and the later I mean the 1952 which I mentioned, the author Samuel, who just directly tied up with IBM. They try to improvise all the like initial field of all the things, so he just started. There are more people, and later they come with the guy, he's from Germany, like uh, he's a professor. He also part of the research group. 1951 he just, and he like started with the neural. You know that the neural language, right? Hello. Guys,
Yes.
sorry, just response, guys. Okay, so
Yeah, yeah.
the machine language actually mainly they started with for medical related, for the neurotechnology which they're using for analyze the disease related. Early they used to have particularly they can't be able to find out the diagnosed things. Okay, they used to go with a manual procedure only. So the guy from German, they have the technology early, but they didn't show. So they invented the coding according to the thing. They're using that like early they were using not Java and all, later come they use that C or C plus, and that they use for this thing. What do you say that? I suddenly not come mind. Okay, so those language early they implement, they used for created like algorithm for only for the neurotechnology. So and they later come up with the other like banking sector and the business, and what are the real estate you are using. There are other way also you can use. So nowadays here they were using for healthcare, e-commerce, and the manufacturing, telecom industry. So now there are real world the MLOps is working in there. So now come to why we're using MLOps. Okay, so see, this is I just giving. See, I just 1 hour back only. Just make the slide. Don't confuse yourself, guys. Okay. See, MLOps mainly you have to understand how the model going to work in the production. So those thing you have in mind. Okay. So most of thing fail in the production because of there are lack of thing. So you can check that model like accordingly. So the 80% of module never reach production. You know why? Any idea, guys? If you guys working in cloud sector, you may know that.
Is it regarding benchmarking?
Nope. Normal cloud. Why they are not using? They have the environment, right? And you're using the DevOps concept. So you have the separate environment according to the state you're separating. Like
Is it
they
because of the cost?
cost seems to be same. There are other like I just mentioning here also.
Okay.
So there are like so many steps are there, right? So like the data and then the output and everything is related to like not only the model. So once the model is built, right, we need to deploy somewhere, right? So that it will be a real time or batch inference kind of. So that will be a little tricky when it went to production and all, right? So it's very difficult and complex to make it productionize.
Yeah, somehow, but it's a machine language. It mainly built the machine language for used to for the cloud sector and the AI. How we are using generative other AI, those concepts we are using. So they why the reality like why they are not reach most of the module never reach the production means there are lack of deployment and the monitoring, they don't have a particular monitoring, and they're not using most automation stuff, and these are all the drawback to fail to reach the production. Okay, that's where, which means monitoring means they don't have dedicated monitor for this. Okay, and when you're doing the deployment, there are, we have to use certain modules. Okay, the build modules and the monitoring mapping, those are all coming according to this when you're doing the DevOps, right? So when you're collecting the data, we are using giving the module training and the validation and the deployment. So those monitoring, they have the, now we have the tool according to the AI. Like if you're using Azure, mean they have Azure AI, ML Flow. These are all tool. Okay, so in when you're generating to the ops, like machine language to ops, they don't have dedicated tool like which you have to the model wise. So that's where they are not reach the production. So how we can rectify this, how we can able to faster, how, what are the tools they were launched in that. So we have to go cover in day by days, like the following weeks and upcoming days we are going. So just I'm giving that overview for, if you your background from the cloud, you can easily understand. If you all, if you doesn't know, I will give, if you have to, don't hesitate to answer any question, just ask, I will explain. Okay, I just go with model wise, and if you try to keep question only, I can able to answer. Okay guys.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So just, it's just interact section, just keep interacting. That then I'm just talking like uh yeah, kind of. Okay, just, it's just normal, just friendly, just whatever ask you can
Like,
ask.
yeah. So Daniel, sorry to interrupt. So I'm curious to know, like, is there any like end-to-end steps that is involved in MLOps? Like, this is the starting step, and this is the intermediate step, and this is the end of the deployment. Maybe early mentioned the monitoring, and then this is the complete automation. So something like that. Do you have such slide so that before going to the MLOps in detail? That will give us some idea like this is the holistic picture of the MLF, something like that.
Yeah, we do have actually. I just giving the overview from the, as per the module wise I will go. Okay, so
Mm.
and I will give you, because I'm currently working in Google, right, where we work on the Vertex AI, how we are using that MLOps in that past 2-3 years working in this pattern. So I will explain where we are doing this part. Okay, so mainly we are working in as I mentioned, so early we are working in that banking sector and healthcare, and we are using for e-commerce, like e-commerce, obviously Google also part of this, and as well as how the AWS, like Amazon things, e-commerce, the recommended engine, how is working, the use case of, though we are explaining, and the manufacturer also. Manufacturer means there are some Europe region they were using for the commercial purpose, like the Ferrari, and the most things, what do you say, that the commercial brand car, right, right. For example, the Ferrari, though we are using that engine wise, how they are making that maintenance, all those things. So though we are using that MLOps barrier, and the telecom industry also. So which, hello, going forward, I just give you the real world use case where we are using all those things. Okay, so let me just go with that. See, this is the problem. Okay, guys, someone, I can hear the wind noise. Allow
Yeah, on my head.
Yeah, make yourself mute, Aladdin.
Yeah,
Okay, see, you can see the problem which I mentioned, right? See, normally when you're creating the machine language with a notepad, guys, notepad means like, have you heard about the Jupyter notepad? So that's where they used to create the machine language. So they create the module wise actually. So there are so many modules they used to create according to the what do you say, like requirement base, like they used to go with for example, if you go with the banking, means in the banking there are other way, like transaction and the generate, like the process. There are some they have some module, right? So you have to make it the module accordingly. So in this module, it will not reach to the production because they don't have any structural system or scalability, like they have they don't have the monitoring setup and all. Okay, so here we're using dedicatedly like certain algorithm which we are using the linear algorithm. Hope you guys know the linear algorithms and use Python and other what language you are comfortable you can able to use also. Like Python is mainly using in this platform, as well as in that they were using the linear concept. So though mainly using to implement to the production system. Okay, so this is not like failed for any algorithm or failed for any related to the code. It's mainly it's not reaching the production because of like so no deployment strategy, no monitoring, as I mentioned here. So no automation. So that's where it's like not reaching the production. So going forward, I just explain the real time which we are using the tool. And I'll go explain to I have a keep weekly wise schedule. I will go with that model, and you have any doubt, maybe once you started the training, right, the basic stuff, so you will get to know understand how the flow will go, where the real time we are working, so though we can able to go understand by the daily upcoming section. Okay, so this is how we see. And the machine language, as I mentioned, what is MLOps. So can you anyone can explain what is MLOps? In front of you can see that. Guys, are you there?
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
it's a machine learning operation only, right? It's a data, and then we have to train and deploy later, and we have to see the monitor,
This
build,
that's a
deploy,
flow
and
actually.
monitor.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is how the
yeah.
flow will go. Okay, so MLOps, it's nothing but like machine language.
Operationalizing, yeah, operationalizing the machine learning models
Yep,
in the
correct.
production environment.
Yeah, and since certain people are working in the cloud, right? So see, MLOps nothing but the machine language and operation, so which is called, and we are using the machine language plus DevOps. So which you can arrange like MLOps applies DevOps principle to the machine language lifecycle management. So that is how it's a flow. So here I just mentioned the flow, how will go data and the train and the deployment and the monitor. So this is the flow, and how the MLOps stage will happen means like data means the data collection will go, and then the model training. Okay, and then the model validation, and then the data deployment. Model training is obviously in middle the model validation happen. Validation means what are the things we are doing in that. So the before we move to the deployment or deploy move to the production, there is a validation happen, right? You giving the approval stage before, so though concept will come, and then later you do the monitoring. So that's a flow will the entire MLOps will happen. I will show you the architecture how we can able to improve the thing. Okay, and how the automated stuff we are implementing over there, though we can able to see the upcoming section. So this is the flow we are going to see the MLOps. See, this concept will come the this just a demo I just giving. So there are so in depth you can go, like the data collection oriented, and the model training oriented, and the model validation oriented, and how the deployment happen, and how the monitoring things. These are all we can go upcoming section. This I just give you the say MLOps is a process automate the manage in the ML life cycle, which means we try to automate the module into the machine language life cycle. That's how it's a workflow it happen. So these are all individual topic. It will come how we can collecting the data and all. The normal how you are collecting data means you have a resource wherever you're registered. We have the tool like a pipeline tool which you have. So those who are coming the data collection things, and training wise means what are the data you have according to what training you want to given. So based on that collect the data from the data source, which means we have some other source which according to tool wise will work. So though we are going to see upcoming section, so just I give you the overview from here only. So if you have any question, just hesitate to ask. I will go with that only. Okay, and you can see that like, so I told you we are using some tools like MLOps tools. which you're using, as I mentioned, the ML flow, which working the commonly, and which you're using in Azure also. And they have another tool also, which they have Kubeflow. Hope you guys know, who are working in the cloud sector. You know the Kubeflow tool. Somebody tell you're working in Azure, right? Guys, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're thinking boring, just tell me. I will, because this topic is
No,
slightly
nothing.
scary.
So,
Continue.
so
Going
Daniel, tell me
forward,
one thing. So this deployment will happen only in one cloud, or like the GCP cloud or the multi-cloud?
multi-cloud also to work.
Okay.
How we are set up the deployment, how we are organize the setup. There are some
I mean, in your real
security also
time,
applicable. Yeah,
in your real time training and then session, so it will be multi-cloud also, right?
yeah, multi-cloud also working. Yes. So though I will going forward, I will explain. Okay, just you want to understand what is MLOps and where we are using, what are the tools you are using. So it's the first demo section, right? So going forward, I have the slide. I used to elaborate, and you can able to do your production in the real time. So that's we are going
Okay.
forward. Because
One more thing.
MLOps, it's like a very huge topic wise. Okay, and if you already know the cloud sector, you may get it's all related to the cloud only, and we are using that MLOps into the cloud. In that it will come like a LLM model, and we are using the GPU optimization, the model monitoring, and the scaling. Those concept will come. Okay, how the API gateway works, how the application involved in that. Though we are discussing further, okay, in the upcoming section. Just showing that which tool you're using mainly for this. I told you like the fast API, which is for API creation, and the Docker, we are using in the container creation and all. We're using Docker. So though we are using in that, and the CI/CD also coming in the part of the playing also. So though we are coming in the upcoming section, we'll show you. Okay, don't worry, guys. Just for the module, just for the demo, I just giving the overview. Which are all you going to cover in that? Yeah, someone raised the question.
Yeah. So myself, Manjunath. So I'm working as a DevOps and cloud engineer. So with a multi-cloud. So
Okay.
is this cover will be basic basic things of AL, like AI and ML, LLM models as well? Because
Yeah, of course.
basics we know, right? So then only we can able to understand properly, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the reason.
It's still covered with AA and ML and LLOps. Okay, it will covered. Yeah.
Okay.
See, I just not dragging directly into that core. Okay, I just want to let you
Okay.
know which you want to first understand the concept, right? So which are all
Okay.
you going to cover? So I just showing that. So
Mm.
first you know the what is MLOps and why you are using and what are the tool you are using. Just I give you that there are other tool also. So commonly they were using in the day like ML flow, fast API, Docker, and we have other like Azure ML also we have, and we have in if you're somebody working in Google GCP, they know like Vertex AI. So though also, and we are using like generative AI also, how the ML flow is working. And if you're working in agentic AI, that also. So there are depends on the AI, the model will functional, and how the model log, like so the model will flow, right? So how the registry happen. So those we are going to moving forward. See, there are some interaction I will give you, so you can raise your question accordingly. See, I'll show that. See, this is how the flow will happen, which I told you, right? The data collection and the data pre-process and the model training and the registry and the API development and then client and then the return to the session. So this is the flow, the model wise, and the data will, yeah. Yes, guys, someone asked something.
So and
Yes.
also APIs, we are actually not into development side. So
Okay.
this API implementation, API deployment, everything you are going to teach, you, right? So from the scratch.
API, see, that's very huge topic. Okay, I will use
Mm.
that
Okay.
automation things, which how we can
Okay.
able to utilize here. Okay, so since you are working, if there's anybody working in the cloud, they have utilized the automation tool. They have, okay, for developing things. If you are using GitHub or GitHub Action or any Copilot or whichever. So though we'll
So that
helpful
we are
to
using, but APIs are completely developers are using, right?
exactly. So in that also, so for code wise, right, you can able to crack
Yeah.
whichever tool according to the model. Okay, and there are some modification which you're doing that we will tell you where you can do all the see this purpose MLOps model we are going to. If I'm training also, you may just confuse. When you're working the real time only, you'll get to know all the concept. Okay, real time I can
Suppose
able to show
example,
you here.
sorry for inconvenience. Suppose I am Java development code, Java developer code. So suppose
Okay,
example, there is a database connection is required for API deployment perspective, API connection perspective. So in
exactly.
this scenario, how we are going to implement this API? Normally, Java developer they will integrate with the API in their code actually. But
Yes.
if it completely it will be a applications modules. So how we are going to implement this kind of API and where we need to implement and how the function will be there.
Yeah, that we will going forward will explain. Okay, so API is
Okay.
only working for the fast manner only we're using for that. That's a tool actually.
Mm.
Okay, which I
Mm.
already told here. See here the fast
Yeah.
APIs we are working there. So how the you can able to build the API using the ML model tool. Okay, so though we can able to creation, which means
Mm.
there are some basic algorithm we are using for standardized thing
Mm.
according to the like if you're using the banking sector, what are the things applicable in the banking. Okay, so though we are explaining according to this. Okay, like banking sector for restrict the purpose in the real world we're using for the fraud detection and other like the scamming things, though we are able to address, right? So that's where you're using the API creation for the common purpose only. See which
No. Actually, API using for database connection, server connection as well, right? So that
no,
purpose we are using
here
in
we
our
are using, yeah,
projects.
yeah, that's purpose only, but we are
Yeah.
using for which domain we are working in the API creation. You understand, right?
Yeah.
Which domain means which background. Like for example, if you're working in healthcare or working in banking or working in any e-commerce or working in any telecom industry, so there are some the database like the secure, how we can able to secure from the fraud detection. So though we can, there are some structural we have, and how here how we are able to create the module according to that, and how we are able to use the database to set up over there. So though we can able to uh, coming with upcoming session, I will show you that. Okay,
Okay.
so these are all basic I'm just covering. Thank you for raising the question. We will go
Yeah.
accordingly. Okay, just I'll give the
Yeah.
demo only, I just showing that which are all we're going to cover. Okay,
Okay.
so this I just mentioning how the flow will go, like from the training to ML model, and how we are building the API and run the prediction. So prediction, like how the final stage will happen using that when you're launching the thing. So though we are
Yeah.
coming the real ML system working in the real world, so we can able to finalize the thing. Okay, that we can explain in the upcoming section. So this is a simple structure, like the ML flow, how will go, like user and the API and the ML model and the response. This is how you go. So API, since you asked, right, how the response happen. So in middle, we are using the module. So module, which I already told the module creation. So in that, the collection will come and the validation part will come and the deployment part will come. So though will come to the tie up the database as well as which database you deploy on that, and what are the developer application wise, what we are setting. See here the network concept also coming. I will explain further. Okay, upcoming section.
Okay.
See whatever we are showing is all involving the production manner only. So this is the simplest. Okay, so how the production architect working in the server, right, and how we are using the ML model in the server. So that's where we are going to the how the real world going to implement that machine. See, machine language is nothing but it's not a coding about. So how we are make the shortest way to detect the thing. So that's where using the more number of coding and all, like that's the easy way how we can able to. That's where we are using that machine language. Okay, so normal you're using Java and all, like creating some package based on that resource wise you're creating according to. But come to machine language entirely different. We will let to know an upcoming section where is the real time working. Everything I will show you.
Yeah, yeah, Daniel. Sorry for the interrupt. Can I show about for anyone demo about for that project? Means no, I'm not asking. I'm not asking for that much. The whole, the full-fledged project.
Okay.
Where you have mainly are implemented that ML. Already I'm working there in HCL DevOps.
Okay.
But first the thing that ML part where you have to majorly you have to implementing in the project. I am working for the CI/CD only. So
Okay.
advancedly I am coming to here and for the upgrading my skill set. So I don't know from
Exactly.
ML.
Yeah, exactly.
Manju,
So
you
as
are
a
Yeah.
DevOps engineer, we need to
Yeah.
know more about a pipelines, CI/CD pipelines. We need to integrate with the MLOps.
Yeah.
So
That
there
part
it
also
comes to
will
this
come. I
for
will
the
address that.
automation.
That
Okay.
also part
yeah.
of MLOps only. We will show you. Okay. So just I will come with the module with how we can the linear things. I will mention right the linear algorithm only applicable where you guys are doing the training part and how the model creation goes. Those, and as well as I mentioned the CI/CD part
No,
also part of there.
yeah, yeah, understood. Yeah, most of persons, everyone in their meeting, the persons are attending. Everyone has an maybe experienced guys only,
Okay.
in base of
That's
the DevOps. So the ML part, the majorly how where it will be working, what the necessity of purpose they inside the market it will be coming to occupying the projects like that. I need to know about that all scratch level of details because the ML operation and then SRE, platform engineering and cloud support, this type of inside the DevOps having so many steps of means like that in different the supporting project means
yeah. I
curriculums
got
also in
you.
there. So especially that ML where it will be working like that in the part of projects like that I'm asking.
Okay. That I will directly come here. Okay. Mm, okay. So here you can
That's a
see
big
that.
sorry for that because 12
Yeah.
minutes
Yeah.
only it will
So
be late. It will be
yeah,
going there.
understood.
That
You
project will
see.
be because that meeting it will be complete. So mainly we will complete that
See,
everything in the
since you mentioned that ML part, right? See, here
yeah
will come here. See, I will make the slide accordingly. So the
yeah
entry
this
and
one
ML
I'm
ops
asking
pipeline.
yeah
Okay, so from the data, as I mentioned, there is a standard flow, data collection, and the model training and the validation. The ML flow, which the tool we are using for here, okay, and then the API part, the Docker, how the functionality, and the CI/CD. CI/CD means the integration and the deployment happen. There are some stage of thing and how which tool you're using when you're using the build part. Like when you're working in the CI/CD, which cloud you're working and which language you're using while using that building part in the integration. So those concept also coming. So from there, what we are using the common whatever you're doing in the same cloud, that should be a common. How the ML flow will work, the module will happen through the tool, kind of which tool you're using, like ML flow or other Azure or Vertex tool, which you are doing, that will will work, that make things easy. Okay, so the API things and Docker, and then we are doing the monitor, how we are designing the monitor according to the what we are developed. Okay, this is how your flow will go, I
But
think.
where is the Kubernetes? So Kubernetes comes from the picture because currently market is demanding more into
yeah
Kubernetes
yeah exactly
architecture, right?
the same
Okay,
asking
So
same.
see, Kubernetes, which cloud you're working, that's the cloud related. Okay,
cloud, multi-cloud,
I'm just telling
so
you.
AWS, Azure, GCP, all three clouds.
Yeah, that's a part of
So,
cloud.
so I think the Kubernetes people are using even in my industry organization also people are using Kubernetes just for the scaling purpose, right? So for auto scaling, like horizontal scaling and vertical scaling. So these are the type of scaling that is required for
No,
the deployment
if
purpose.
I'm explaining Kubernetes, that's a very big concept. Okay, not even scaling. You have
No,
to set
without
up that.
Is it part of the
see,
course syllabus? This
e-commerce.
Kubernetes?
Yeah, it's a e-commerce, especially large scale project, large scale e-commerce website. Majority of the companies are using Kubernetes now. Now Kubernetes is coming to on-demand high salary package as well as more job opportunities, including MLOps and ALOps. So
Yes.
that's the only concern
Yeah.
we are
See,
actually
cloud
more
part
interested.
also will
Actually.
come. I will explain.
Yeah.
Okay. So where but why we are using MLOps into that pipeline? Okay, so the
Mm.
flow will go like normally the MLOps will work in the data collection and the model training, and then we are using the tool like ML flow or which tool, like according to. So if you're somebody asks, guys, just give me 5 minutes. Let's say maybe in the end of the section, you may get to know what are the things we are covering. Okay, I will give you timing to question. I will explain. Maybe your personal question, whatever you're working real time, and I will explain. Okay, no worry. So this is how. So I may work all the things. I work in the cloud related. I work in the Kubernetes. I do work with the Kubernetes architect also. We specifically Azure and GCP and work in AWS. I will explain everything, how the functionality, where you implement the ML model over there. So we will going forward, we will use, and how we can able to design the monitoring according to that also. So though we'll explain. So don't come with in the beginning. There is some the model picture yet to come in the upcoming section. I will explain accordingly. Okay. So this is the flow, and guys, like the you ask the build ML API. This is how we'll go. So like first you are building the production to the ML pipeline, and then the tracking will go like to the ML flow, which the tool we are using, and then the deployment happen either with API or Docker. Though the deployment model, guys, are you there?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
hearing you.
these are all the stuff I just mentioned. You using the automated CI/CD according to the cloud, which cloud you're working. If you're working in the multi-cloud also, so you have the standardized CI/CD. So we are using for the multi-cloud sector also we can use. Though we are using here also, and there are some way you are connecting to the cloud that I will explain in the going forward. So this is that common which you have, like how the deployment. See, I just mentioned the last second step, deploying onto the cloud. So which means how we are deploying into the cloud to the ML. Okay, so though will come like in the end of the course, you will get to know the production grade ML system, how the functionality entirely. Okay, we will explain to the end to end, and as well as the real world how you working in the project. So though I can explain everything. So, and then you can see that this is the architect, commonly like end to end, the ML flow architect. You can see it, guys, datas and the integration, storage, ML training, like we are using the ML use and the API. So these the basic way, and we are using the service and monitoring, and how the monitoring wise, the feedback things and all the retains, everything will come. So if this picture, if you can understand, or you have any question, just let me, I will explain you.
Where is the CI/CD comes to the picture?
Sorry.
How about CI/CD?
CI/CD, it will come in the
So in this,
deployment part only, in the
yeah.
deployment part. But here I
Uh,
just give you that overview,
mhm.
like three things in the deployment part will come. So I'm not specifically here, it's
Okay.
part of the thing. Okay, see, data source means where they're collecting the data, and the data ingress, and data storage where you're going to store the data. See, this is a process, like a cycle process. Okay, from the API to we go to the data storage source, and we'll go to the data ingestion and the storage and the data training, and then come to the model, which model you're using as per the registry concept, and then we'll come to the API, and this is the prediction. So this is a flow, and the CI/CD concept also come, which cloud you're working, that also will come. I will explain. Okay. So here you can see that other pipeline architect, the raw, like the data two and the data validation, how the transformation happen, how we are storing the future data and the model training, and then come with the evaluation. So here using the model registry with, I just mentioned it's a ML flow only, because most of time you're using ML flow for this, because I having the tool with ML flow, which we are using the real time also. I can show you. Okay. So the
And
model
then
deployment, which I mentioned, right? So though we are coming with all the CI/CD part, the cloud things will come. Yeah, yes, guys, tell me.
yeah, because in there data engineering part also it will be including inside there, right? Like that I'm seeing in there data
Yeah.
validation and transformation feature stores. It will be like in Azure that data bricks, SQL, like this functions of tools also we will be using before the ML training, training model training, right?
No,
So maybe
Databricks is
25%.
entirely different. Okay, this
Yeah.
not come to in this place. That's a
Now,
database
why I'm
concept.
asking, yeah, why I'm asking means anything will take over the part like the data engineering act of work, nearly 25%, 30% of work also we will to involve in inside there. Anything in there?
No, those we are working is automation things. Okay, which will implies we are only using for the ML flow modules only we are working. I just giving the
Yeah, okay,
overview where we
okay,
are, and the module will applicable all the area. Okay, so mainly we are using in the cloud sector and how the flow will go. So normally when you're from the source to destination, there are some security aspect we are using the send the data, right? So here that's where the structure will go, like from the raw data to data validation and the transformation, and we are storing the data where we are going to store, like which database, not a database here. There is some cloud data center which you have, like according to the cloud. If you are working the multi-cloud, they have dedicatedly, they have set up over there according to, either if you go with GCP, mean they have work with the PostgreSQL or other SQL or common. So where you're storing the things. So how we are retrieving the thing the easy way, and we are using the MLOps, because MLOps is nothing but like the mainly is working in the DevOps for the data collection method and the training you are giving and the validation. So this is the main you can consider. Okay, and the LLM model, like the large language model, how we are into applicable. So those model serving and how we are prompt the management, how the CPU optimization happen here, and how the model monitor work here. So though we are upcoming section we are going to see that. Okay, so just giving the overview, just for under before you come to MLOps, you may have certain question, right? How the training will go. So though I just giving the overview for here, we going forward we will give the each module accordingly how the real time will work this entire thing. Okay, so you may not see the just the theoretically just showing the flow. There are most of thing working in the automated thing only, just you working for working in the tool only, which that ML tool or which are all tool. So though we are how we are integrating the step only, we are going forward go. If I think you guys are expecting the real world scenario, like where you already been belonging, like somebody has this cloud and CACD, the Kubernetes things, how though where the MLOps is applicable. We will show you that which part will come. Okay. See in the production how will work. You can see that this architect may be helpful.
Hi, Daniel. Can you go back to the previous slide?
Yeah. Yes.
See, I just have one question. So when you are talking about the model training, are we going to train the model kind of data science guys? Are else these are some different models? See, basically, I have worked in this kind of projects, but
Okay.
when we are training MLOps, we are training a model. What model we are training, and what the model will do?
See, model training in a sense means it's nothing but how the data collection happen, right? So based on that, you are not giving the training. Okay, so you're just training in a sense means, so before you're going to presentation, you just collecting all the data and how you can able to present, right? So those is we call like model training, which means when you're collecting the data according to the requirement, you have to training, you have to train the thing, like, so that's where you're giving this. So they name it as a model training. Okay, and how we are functional working in the tool wise, like since I mentioned the registry like ML flow, how we are utilizing here, how the life cycle happen over there. So that's where you're going to see in upcoming. So just don't confuse everything. As a theory, the flow how will go, I just explaining the process. Okay, maybe if you're upcoming, like if I'm going to the section wise, you may get to know, like I just giving the overview how the flow happen, how we are utilizing in the MLOps here with the tool. You will get to know the upcoming session. Okay, no worry guys, I will explain. See here the production system architect, like if you're using like any app or web or any mobile, how with the load balancer, the API gateway, how the interface service and the module storage. So this is the flow will go, like the lagging, like EKL stack and alerts and the database. You can the how the database, like have you used the Graphon tool when you're
Yeah.
working in. So
What
these are
Yeah,
the
part of,
monitoring
yeah.
process.
So Grafana is only for how the visualized things will show, right? And we are using the Prometheus for when you're working the Kubernetes, we are having the Prometheus for showing the metric things like CPU usage and how the nodes and ports, if any things goes wrong, you can be able to identify the metrics wise. So those here also the same concept only, but we will. That's why I'm just maybe at the end of I just go with the internally like the structural how the flow will go. Maybe the real time you may work the directly into that the structural pattern like not into the basic. Okay, I just go with the basic how the flow go. These are all come. Okay, no worry, I will get you guys. I will explain in the
Uh,
upcoming. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, Daniel. So one more question here in the beginning of the architecture. So when you say client and then application, web or mobile, so I know there are like two concepts. One is called real-time inferencing and the other one is called batch inferencing. So will that be the thing here?
Yeah,
Like
same.
we are
Yeah,
going to okay.
correct. Same concept only. If you already work in the cloud, it's very easy. But in that, how the MLOps will work function, same thing. How we are using the tool and how we are see MLOps is working for the real time only. That's why I'm mentioning. So there are the which background of you working. If you are working in the service related, which service they are working. So based on that, the function should be same. All the cloud concept, everything same. But here the MLOps how we are functional in here I will explain the upcoming. Okay, so that's maybe
And
you may have some question which like how we are notifying how do you retain the model and which model version in line and how do you deploy the new model safely. Those we are going to see in the upcoming and the real world importance like how we are doing the automation and the fast deployment. We will see that like according to the model I can explain, no worry. And how we are going to scalable the thing and how we are going to secure the things, though we can see that upcoming. Okay, no worry guys. This is the common things we are explaining the production system. The flow will go, but you know the production stuff how we work in the cloud sector, the same pattern only, but I just giving the structural way how the flow will go only. Okay, any question guys from here?
what does this model storage will contain? What do we have there, and what do we monitor particularly related to that in the Grafana?
See, model storage, for example, if you're working in the cloud, you're creating any VM instant or any you're setting the network or any you're using the Kubernetes things, the same concept only. Okay, so you're storing the data right according to the resource. So the same way, and we're doing the monitoring accordingly. As I mentioned here, the Grafana is showing the visualization what things you're working in the graphical manner, and the Prometheus, the monitoring which you saw the like what you did in the cloud sector, the same pattern only. Like it show the nodes and pod and how the log things, everything will show here. Same thing only, but here the production. This is a production sector. Before you can see that the ML pipeline architecture is different, and when you move to the production, obviously the monitor stuff only happening to the related to the monitor things only showing. Okay, if any logs later any like alerts or any log issue, though we are able to see here only which in the store in the data. Okay, if any if you have working in the production, if you goes any production issue, what you do, you try to do the rollback strategy. Those will applicable, right? The scaling things, correct, right guys, are you there?
Yeah, I'm hearing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so same concept only. Okay, so I will explain in the upcoming section, no worry. So the same concept, you already working in the cloud sector, the same pattern only applicable, I will explain. See guys, don't worry, you will come to know end of the course. You will be working in the production real time ML system, so it will help you. Okay, so just I'll give you the structural. This is and all we are going to cover how you are working in that. I will give you the overview only now. See the CI/CD pipeline for MLOps, the same. Since you asked that I have the thing. Okay, you can see that. So the code normally how the CI/CD the code will committed and it will trigger the automatically and they will build the pipeline the same. and they build the Docker image and push the registry, and they deploy to the environment. The same way, okay, the staging and the approval and the production, the same. See how happen, same way only in the MLOps also. See, cloud concept should be same. Okay, MLOps, from the MLOps we are using that which tool you are using in the model registry. That's a different. But the concept should be same. In the CI/CD, how the flow will go, that's are all same only. Got you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one doubt. See, regarding whatever things you explained, good now. But what may had actually in real time, right? How you are working, like the data, right? Who is providing the data? After data, where you are placing those data, and how you are training those data? Which tool you guys are using in real time? Then how it's processing? How CA is completed? Then how it's a CD is completed, and CD you are using Kubernetes.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, that is I need to understand. See, MLOps actually for me it's a very 1 minute. Sorry, actually right now connection is good. See, for me, MLOps, I am a very beginner, but I
Okay.
worked in the CI/CD part. I just want to compare those parts. Then only I can clearly understand. See,
Okay.
for example, normal CI/CD, how it works, developer providing the code in the some SEM, then maybe bit by Git or Git, then it will become like a Jenkins part, Maven part, and scanning part, and Artifactory something. This is CI completed, then CD will be done by Argo CD or else Ansible Tower something. Maybe it a Docker or Kubernetes or some other environment is deployed or
Okay.
normal server. Like that, the CD happened, right? Then
Yes.
maybe whatever things you showed me, like a Prometheus, Grafana, those are the parties in the monitoring purpose. We
Correct.
had a different environment like SCQA something.
Yeah.
So just I want to trying to understand how real time it's for MLOps. Like what are the tools we are touching every day, and how maybe it's I know that before the normal application it's a code. Right now
Okay.
we are touching kind of data. So how where we are getting data and where we are placing, how we are training, which tool it's touching, and those part maybe if there it will be good to understand.
Okay. It's a good question, but these are all upcoming section. I just make it. Okay. So things like just giving the example, the companies using MLOps. Okay. If you know the most of tech company like the Netflix, and they recommend, you can think of like Netflix which related. Hello.
That is I'm clearly
Yeah.
understand, but just
So they
deep
start,
into the
they
little bit.
recommend the system accordingly, which are using the MLOps, where what they needed into that. See, this is very faster manner they can easily access things only, and they were using the Amazon also that product recommendation. Like a product means they have to easily found out which product according they are. There are many things in there, right? So they have to identify the right things, and there are demand prediction. Like if you're using the commercial, for example, if you go with like any what you have like Rapido or Uber, you have, right? So there are some demand. Say if you're giving that real time, I just giving the example like
Correct.
the scenario base. So which, for example, if you try to book from wherever you try to book, and Uber or some Rapid or something. So the n number of user they try to access to accept the thing and try to connect you and try to pick you. Okay. So this there are some other way which I'm just giving the real time example. You may understand the thing. So that's where the demand is the prediction. Okay. Prediction means which is near, they can easily get it. You got you right. So they may have difference the same area, but the distance may be the different. Okay. So the prediction should be which is near, they can easily accept the thing that the priority wise will go. I'll give the real time example. This is how the MLOps will involve to give the fastest way to access thing. Okay. So maybe you may
So,
understand that this concept. Huh?
Yeah,
So
see, right now the concept is we can understand. Anyway,
yeah,
we have a
so
data, the
yeah,
prediction is there, so we will get the result. So but what we have from the MLOps perspective, what I'm trying to understand, where we are placing the data, how we are touching, what is the day-to-day works we would be have. Those part would be the very useful. This is things that we are able to understand the scratch, like why
okay.
we needed a MLOps. What is the difference between normal application and MLOps related application? Maybe that is I can
Yeah,
understand. But
so that's very good question. So normally, since I mentioned the ML module, so module means you can able to go with according to the model. For example, when you're for the commercial, when you're building the car, means you go with the engine and other scratch parts, something that those are all module you can consider about. Okay, when come to MLOps, okay, you can build the entire factory. So factory means what are things will applicable. So there are so many modules, like you can maintain the system and you can maintain the roadmaps and you can maintain the monitoring the service and what are the payment things, how the this everything will come. So you can able to easily fetch the thing according to, you can able to create everything very fast manner. So that's why using that MLOps. Okay, instead of you creating the module, see early days they used to create the model wise and they failed with they, because they have created what created, they will get the output accordingly. But when you come to MLOps, what you are getting, they give the right prediction according to the scenario current world what they're using. Okay, so that's the concept you can think about. We will go the upcoming section how the real world goes. I just give the overview, like the machine language, like create the reliable ML system. Okay, reliable means you can think about, they will give the build the entire the full module and not module, the entire factory. Okay, which means when you're running the factory, what are all, there are so many modules intel components. So MLOps will helpful to address all the fast manner. So that's where you're using. Okay, so yeah, I got your question. uh, Maybe going forward we will explain according to the scenario.
sure,
And
thank you.
yeah, so this is a course map, guys. I will just make it as to the weekly wise. We will go everything into the depth. Okay, so fundamental which I already saw that which are all covered, and we will go into in fundamental also there are so many things, and the version control and the experiment track and pipeline, how the API and Docker will work, and how CI/CD. See, CI/CD concept you already know, which are working in the cloud sector, the same thing only, nothing changes. And how we are implementing the MLOps in here. Okay, so the tool, okay, which tool you're using to deploy to the CI/CD. So though we are coming and how we are designing the monitor according to the thing, same. See, when you're working in the cloud, so the same concept only, and the cloud and as well as the final project we have explained. So this I make it as 8 week. It may extend it because this concept will cover means obviously take like 3.5 months to come. I'll try to compose 3 months within. Okay, so maybe I will add certain things up. Uh, what you are having question means I will improvise things and I'll add you. Okay, so I just giving, this is the uh, course roadmap how we are going to the weekly wise we are going to. So every we have 5 hours every week, right? I will explain, I will give question also, like QA question, how we are can answer the thing. You can go with it. Okay, thank you, guys.
Daniel,
Yeah,
one question here. Sometimes the ML models are very complex, right? So
yeah,
it's not like only linear regression, right? So I have worked with models like credit risk model, which is like related to the banking or maybe the risk domain. So there the models are very complex, right?
okay.
So how do you tackle and handle those models? Maybe the financial models. It's not only linear regression; it's a simple y equal to mx plus c equation. Right? So it's very complex. So how do you handle those models in the
See,
ML project?
when you see without models, like the models will like break and some prediction because any incorrect things or any like when you're deploying manually. So in we are just reducing all those things only. We're using the MLOps. Okay, so without MLOps, the models will break, and as I mentioned earlier, so the 80% of models not reach production because of that only. So since we come with MLOps, it will work. So models which I already give the example, there are so many models which are creating according to the resource wise, and how we are using the MLOps tool, which are applicable to the real, and with the MLOps, without MLOps, how we are working in that. Though we are explaining the upcoming. Okay, so with the MLOps, how the deployment happened very fastly. Without MLOps, what are the situation you are facing? So though we are coming with the upcoming with the real world scenario, I will explain. Okay, so here we do like MLOps, like we are doing like the building and the deployment and the monitoring, how we are managing things. So how we are architect the thing, we will going forward. I will explain the slide according to. Okay, so I just mentioned here, you can see here the version control. So this is second week, like version control means, no guys.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
DBC,
everything related to
data
the cloud,
versioning.
cloud only. Yeah, yes guys, Rajendran, you asking something?
Yeah, I mean, it's about the data versioning and then the code versioning, right?
Yeah, same, obviously, same,
Model versioning. Yeah.
almost related. See, the version control is nothing but the repository which you're having, right? The same concept only. Okay, so according to the which cloud related. So we see the entirely related to the cloud, and finally I mentioned that the cloud final project, the entire how the cloud will work with the MLOps, we can explain. And here the AA concept also come, I will explain accordingly. Okay, I can't directly implement the entire the section to that. There is some module according to the come, I will explain all those things while upcoming section. So you have any doubt, you can ask me, I will go the real time everything. See, and I will explain when you are complete the MLOps, like with the level of the category. See, for example, if you have started the MLOps or already you having some experience means, just to you starting the MLOps, uh, like there are some level of package also we'll get. See, currently I'm doing MLOps past 2.3 years working in this area, and especially in Vertex AI with Google, which I'm working. So though we are implementing the MLOps, which particularly for which I already told, right? We are working in the e-commerce related. So, and as well as the healthcare, and as well as banking. So I just giving the industry and how the use case will work according to the real world. So though we are going to the upcoming section, I will explain. Okay, so here as I working in the e-commerce, in e-commerce, like we just recommend the engine, like based on that. If you're somebody working in the Amazon means, like the e-commerce things. Okay, so those and all we'll going forward, we'll see the upcoming. Okay, any question guys?
So Daniel, so is that like we will be covering the cloud part as well, right?
Yeah.
AWS. So in cloud, what type of services, like how in depth we are going to cover in cloud? What are the services for MLOps?
All services will applicable if you are touch up with for example, if I go with since I'm working in the Google, if you're touching the service like compute engine, or you have VM, and the storage part also coming, and we have the Kubernetes concept also coming, and if you're touching with DevOps concept also coming, how we are working. And there is no any BigQuery concept won't come. Normal how the other resource only are applicable, like and the network concept also coming. Network things we just using for the secure purpose, and how the communication, like the privately. So though we are able to do here, and I will explain how we are set up. If you're working in the Azure, we are using the VNet concept, right? So how we are set upping the VNet according to the application. So either using multiple subnet to according to the application wise or database wise or any management. So though we are set upping the same concept only. Okay, so here the MLOps will work for onto the cloud. Okay, think about now. See, onto the cloud means the entire
No,
cloud will work.
that's no, sorry. So that's fine. I'm asking about the MLOps based AWS services like SageMaker. So I'm asking that kind of services. So these are the which you mentioned as the basic services which we are already using in the DevOps.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm asking like services related to MLOps like SageMaker. So what are the services we are going to cover? And also
Mm,
in the curriculum which have been given, only Docker has been mentioned. So Kubernetes has not been mentioned anywhere. So how about we, how it is covered, how Kubernetes is covered? Because without Kubernetes, nowhere, as of my knowledge in my companies and my client companies, nowhere Docker is running in productions. Only we use to build images.
okay. Yeah, Kubernetes only for building image only. Docker, sorry. Kubernetes different. Yeah, see, I will explain everything going forward. No worry, guys. Just for the overview, I just make this slide. Maybe it's hard slide. Maybe I'm not giving the demo like it's like just 1 hour before, and I just make all
No,
those things.
no,
Okay.
that's fine. I'm just all the steps will be covered. I'm not asking to explain on that. I'm just asking what are the steps will be covered under those. I'm just getting to know how depth is this course about.
Okay. See, I told you right. We will cover entire thing. Like once you complete the course, you will get to know how the MLOps work in the real world and which scenario. So if you know the already cloud means that's fine. The same concept only come, but we are deploying that MLOps into the tool wise only, which you have already. I mentioned like ML flow. We are working in the see, this related entire related to kind of AI. Okay, not entire AI. Like AI means how it's work. Like for example, if you're working the chat GPT, you can whatever ask it will give the prompting things. So same way we have other AI, crew AI and agentic AI. Though we are using the same MLOps concept really working inside. And the pipeline concept, you know, when you're working the AI, the rack pipeline will applicable, and there are other pipeline also which are working implement over there. If I'm working in the agentic AI, they were using that elevation AI concept also. So those are all applicable, which the pipeline tool. So these are all related to the MLOps concept. Okay, so the easy way they can able to take the retrieve the data, and how we can able to use in the real. So that's where we are using. And cloud concept, you know, the common cloud concept is simple, and here we are using how the AI is working. That's where we are going to be uh, going forward. I will explain all those things. Okay, so don't more confuse on yourself. Just this thing will cover all the entire, like most of thing only cloud only. Maybe if which cloud you want, like AWS or GCP, I will go accordingly. See, I work in the GCP in the real world, so I can explain with the same. Like GCP and Azure seems to be same only. We can go with that only.
So Danny, we need to purchase the cloud subscription, or how do we go for the training and all?
Sorry, sorry, I can't able to hear. Sorry, Rajendra.
Do, do we need to purchase the cloud subscription for this training, or are you going to provide us the subscription for the training and the practice?
Those you have to check with um, CBAR, the Grover Technology people. But I will give you some tool which you can able to utilize to practice those things. I can have. I will give you
Mm.
for your practice. Okay, that we will while going. I will make the session that like practical section. How we are going to, what are the algorithms we have already automated, right? Though we are using into the console wise, how we are, though we can, I can explain in the upcoming section how we are working in that MLOps will work. Okay, so those tool I have, I will see that ML flow I have, which I purchased, and I have other like crew AA, which they have that separate tool, the module tool. Though we can able to practice, we can utilize. So
And the
I
course
that
material will be said.
end of the session. See, I'll give every week which are I covered that I given. Okay, and into that I will give that basic the core things, majorly using the things and all. I will make the document. I will send you. Okay, though I will send you every week, which I covered. Okay. So this is the topic which we're going to cover. There are in the mainly I just covered. In that there are some other thing will come. I just add on to the according to the topic I will send you.
I think you are currently you are doing the project. That's the thing you have mentioned in this roadmap. I think maybe I am expecting next meeting for that every the live videos you need to collect and will show you here.
Sorry,
Actually,
Aladdin, I can't able to hear you.
yeah, now okay, right?
Yeah, it's better.
Audible.
Yeah.
I think you are currently you are working with your project that only you have mentioned inside that roadmap. I think maybe right. Um,
No,
next,
this is related to common MLOps roadmap. Okay, how will go.
okay.
And
Next meeting will be
I will show you
yeah,
that architect which I am working in, right? The pay way
yeah.
we are working. See, I work in Google. We are supporting. There are so many industry which I mentioned, like banking industry, which UK and Europe related, and which are working in the healthcare. In US, there are some other thing which we are though, and also we are working since the Google is e-commerce related, right? So though we are working, what are things we are covering, I will uh, tell you in the upcoming section how the real time will work to that. Okay, so banking sector is different, how the MLOps work, what are the model we are working, and as well healthcare, what are the model we are working according to the MLOps, and come to e-commerce, what are the model. So though we have automated everything, and I will try to give everything to pass to the uh, institute, they will share you. Okay,
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you.
so though will helpful to practice yourself, and there are some tool they have, if they have means they will give you, or I can talk to them how we can proceed to practice hands on. We can help you with that. I'll talk to the uh, institute also. Okay, so now I can able to disclose. I don't know what they have talked with you and all. I don't know with. So here I just give you the demo only, and going forward I have the structural how we can able to with hands-on mode, and how we are using the real world, what the interviewer expecting to answer the things. So if I'm interview means what where I'm question we are asking related to that. So though I helpful, and what scale you are getting, like as for the package wise also. So though I can with this range to this range, how we can able to push. So though I can able to help those and all, I can able to help. Okay, so personally though I can able to help you. Apart from the model wise, I can give you HMS, I can give you the tools and everything I can provide you to get to the hands-on things. Okay, there is no much if you already know the cloud sector. See, cloud you can able to purchase for basic. Don't spend much. There are some basic thing you can able to practice, and for MLOps obviously you have to be purchased certain things that I have a tool which I try to share you in going forward. Okay,
Yeah, fine.
anything guys? And guys, as per the salary wise, if you're completing the MLOps, there are some scale. Okay, if you are the very beginner, you may get 12 to 20, like the basic, up to 0 to 3 years. This is the because MLOps is very demanded. Now is a cloud, and cloud specifically if you're working in Kubernetes very well enough, that also very demand. And how the cloud MLOps will functional. So that's where if you know the cloud, MLOps is very easy. If it doesn't know MLOps, only you can play that MLOps part only, not into the cloud. Okay, if you very well know the cloud, both will combine. You can get more than 50 or 55 lakh up to your experience. If you more than 5 plus, you will get up to 40. If you more than 10 or something, you will get more 60 or 60 plus. So that trial can help you. And there are some company which we are working, right? So I can try to the interview how we can able to crack, and all I can help you. Anything guys?
May I know your experience, total year of experience?
So I
I missed out
have
that first 20 minutes meeting, so that's why I don't
okay.
know.
So I have more than 17 years of experience. I'm working into three industry. First I work in Oracle, then I work in Tech Mahindra. Now I work in Google.
Everything is the
So
same, right? Domain.
No, first I working in Oracle as a data center later. Okay. Which I earlier did working in the VM and the data
The
center.
network engineer.
Yeah, not network engineer, data center engineer.
Okay.
Data center means we working in the on-premises to cloud, how we are functionality, not the physical data center, the cloud data center. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just work and then I work in the Tech Mahindra, working in all the cloud environment only. Okay, not
Next
MLOps.
cloud and now ML.
Now I working in the MLOps and AI. We are developing new AI tool, which only for the maybe you next year or next year. Yeah. So they will launch in Google. So currently they have Vertex AI for only for working in the inside the resource. Okay. There are other tool which working related to applicable for MLOps, how we are operating the Google resource. Okay, inside. So though we are implementing now, it had to come. Okay, so currently what I'm doing, I'm trying to in the real world how we are working. So though I can explain simultaneously according to the model wise, we'll going forward. You'll get to know.
Sure.
Maybe you guys are maybe more than 17 plus experience. I see some have 20 plus of experience. That's good to hear. And you may not be learn MLOps and they work. Most of them I can see that they work in the cloud sector. Then you can easily understand the thing. So that's not much difficult. I may telling all the theoretical part. When you're working in the real world, it's very easy. Okay. Siba, are you there?
Yeah, Daniel.
Yeah, done with. Just up to you.
Okay. We will connect with the candidates, and we will let you know the feedbacks
Yeah.
within 2 days.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
valuable
Thank you,
time.
Daniel.
Thank you all for joining.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Siva.
Thank you. Bye.
Siba, are you there?
Yes, Daniel.
Yeah, we will just stay. Just
Okay,
Yeah, Daniel.
almost.
Okay, we will wind up the session, and I'll call you back by tomorrow.
okay, guys. Yeah, I will also disconnect.
Okay.
Bye,
Yeah,
guys. Bye.
sure. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. Bye.